Hi guys, Funsho here from BBi Pages. I hope you're all doing okay. I've been joined today by a very special guest who is John Papadopolous. Hi John, welcome to the show. Hope you're doing well.
Hello Funso, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, you're very welcome. Now if you could explain to people just a little bit about who you are and also what your experience is in the industry, please.
So I'm a pharmacist actually. I have a pharmaceutical background. I'm currently the owner and the manager of a pharmaceutical wholesale firm located in Greece. But I started exploring cryptos in 2012 when I first heard about Bitcoin. And I was so excited with the technology that I decided to explore other projects as well. And there was one point that I decided to start helping startups by being an ICO advisor.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That's brilliant stuff. So just so that people really understand, because I think this word's been thrown around so much with ICOs, it's in the press, everyone's talking about them. You know, everyone's got this understanding that they can make a fortune if they open one. But for you, with your actual title, so to speak, in this industry sector, what exactly is an ICO advisor from your perspective?
Well, to put it in simple terms, an ICO advisor is the person that helps a team behind the project to make an idea an actual product through the initial coin offering process.
Right. Okay. No problem. And again, from your perspective, why are ICO advisors so important for projects in the blockchain industry right now?
Well, I think that there are many ways that an ICO advisor can contribute to a project. I mean, first of all, they can help with the fundraising, but you know, it's not limited to that. An ICO advisor can also be representative for this project for a country or region, or he can introduce the project to new markets, or he can share his experience. He can help by sharing his experience from his working environment. He can make suggestions if it is needed. So, you know, there are a lot of ways that an ICO advisor can contribute to a project, actually.
Yeah, definitely. I'd have to agree there. And I mean, obviously, we'd spoken previously, and you had explained that obviously this wasn't your full-time job, and you'd explained that really, actually, there's a concern about people that claim to do this job full-time based around their influence on certain projects. But can you explain that for our audience, please, what you meant by that?
Well, I feel that there should be a concern about full-time advisors, and you can ask yourself actually, who do you think is more probable that someone will trust? Will it be someone that just claims on his LinkedIn profile that he has prior experience with projects? Or will it be someone that already has a job in a well-known company, or even better, in a well-known company, and he's sharing his experience from his company with the team? I think there should be a concern actually about ICO advisors, because the market right now is saturated with advisors that they offer nothing else but their avatar, actually.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I think a lot of people need to really wake up to that because it's so important. And there's a lot of people out there that, you know, are not out there for the right reasons. So, you know, I do agree with what you're saying there. So how many years have you been in the industry, and what experience do you bring with you as an ICO advisor?
Well, you know, I have been in the industry almost 1 year as an advisor, but for me, this is not the important thing. For me, the important thing is that I'm an investor myself, so I know how investors feel. I know I have the same incentives as other investors. We share the same interest, actually. And I know what investors expect to see from a project. This is for me the most important asset because investors have seen many projects in the past, so they can pick the right projects, the projects that have the potential.
Yeah, no, that makes sense as well. So another thing that I think is plagued really with this industry is lack of information. So again, from your perspective, what research should people carry out before speaking to an ICO advisor, never mind the actual company itself?
Well, the research should be based on the fact that every project is different and every project has different needs. So, for example, if a project is in need of funding, then they should focus the research on finding an advisor that can help them with the fundraising. But, what I see as a common mistake is that there have been a lot of projects that reached their soft caps or their hard caps, and yet they failed to deliver to customers and investors. So for me, this is not a successful project. For me, one project is successful when it can offer real world value to the community. So the goal of every project should always be to offer real world value.
Okay, no, that's good, definitely. And another thing that's always intrigued me as well, just to get a better understanding, what are your sort of typical duties as an ICO advisor?
Well, the duties can differ actually. Those are mentioned on the terms of the agreement, which is signed between the advisor and the team. What they typically include is that the advisor should be available in short notice for advice, in short notice. He should also assist the team as requested. Whenever it is requested, he should assist the team to be present in regular meetings. But there might be some other obligations as well. These things can differ.
Yeah, of course, definitely. So, in terms of the downward trend that is really, really hammering cryptocurrency at the moment, I think it's scaring a lot of people. It's so obvious to see, and at the point of view, it's a very scary time.
Right.
But what's your outlook on the marketplace as a whole? Is it positive? Is it negative?
Well, yeah, there is a downturn in the market, and this might go on for a while, actually. My opinion is that this happened because we had a lot of investors that were just speculating, and they were not really looking for a decent projects that can offer representative value. I think in a way this was necessary because for the community, because we need to realize that if we want to have projects that have representative value, that they can offer something, we have to wait for a while. This downturn is also a good opportunity for risk takers because there is a chance of bigger return on investment if adoption would eventually take place. So yeah, it's a good opportunity actually.
Definitely. I think you're right with what you're saying in terms of the length of time that this is likely to take, because I think it's proven over time in history that any new market or technology, it could take 10 years before it starts to mature. And You know,
Yeah.
I don't believe that we've hit the highs of this market anywhere close to yet. You know, you look at the internet boom when that happened.
Yeah.
It's early days, and I think that fear in the market. It's more if people want to get involved from a long-term standpoint. There's some fantastic opportunities out there, I believe.
Yeah.
But
Certainly.
one thing I do want to ask you as well, and I ask everybody the same question because I want to be able to reflect back on this in time, is where do you see blockchain technology in 10 years' time?
Well, to be honest with you, I have no idea where the blockchain industry will be 10 years from now. I think nobody has. Uh, but I'm sure for one thing, I'm sure that people need a change. And I'm saying that because, you know, we all remember what happened in 2008, right? Where managers of banks took huge risks to get their bonuses because they knew even if they fail, even if their businesses fail, the governments would step in and they're going to save them. So the businesses actually eventually failed, but it was not the governments that paid the bill, it was us, the people.
Yeah.
So they forced us actually to pay for these bonuses. And for me, this is unfair and unethical. And you know, look, I live in Greece, and in Greece there have been numerous recapitalizations, there have been capital controls, and nothing seemed to work out, actually. So what's the point? What we can do with blockchain technology is that we can do the same operations as these organizations do. Not only banks, you know, it's also, this stands also for credit grade agencies and insurance companies. So we can do the same operations as these organizations do in a more transparent, in a more democratized way. So I'm not, you know, I'm not saying that blockchain will solve all our problems, but at least we should give it a try. But with all these regulations in place, there is no room for this innovation, actually. And I think that those regulations are put deliberately, not to protect the investors, but to protect the current system, our current system. Because what they want to do is that they want to avoid transparency. They want to avoid this innovation to flourish, actually. So if we want to have a more transparent, democratized economy, we might want to check alternatives. And right now, I think blockchain is the best alternative that we have.
I think there's some very wise words in there, and you know what you're talking about. You understand how the financial system works, how the monetary system works. You know, politics. It all has a hand to play, and unfortunately, a lot of people are blind to this, and they don't see it. And without enough information out there with, you know, influential people, it's very difficult to get that and convey that message across. But I understand 100% what you're saying, and I think you're right. They are putting this on pause almost. To wait until they're ready, and they'll take the parts of this technology that they want and implement it into this new system. You know, none of us know exactly when it will be. None of us know exactly how it will be played out. But one thing I know for sure is that they will benefit the most from this.
You're right. I have the same feeling.
Yeah, I have definitely. But no, one thing I do want to make sure as well is anyone that wants to get in contact with you and speak to you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, they can find me on my LinkedIn profile, or they can find me on my Twitter. They can follow my Twitter.
Fantastic. And what I'll do as well is I'll make sure that people can just click in the description, and there'll be a link there so that people can find you. I'd like to thank you for talking to us today. It's been fantastic, and it's great to get an insight from someone that, you know, is credible, in a good position in work, that runs their own business, that is an ICO advisor, because it is a very sticky marketplace, and it's good to get a good perception of what this is actually all about. So I do appreciate you coming on today. And what
It was my pleasure.
yeah, you're very welcome. And I do want to tell all of our audience as well, guys, if you're involved in cryptocurrency, in the blockchain technology, if you're starting your own ICO, or you already have a cryptocurrency, a token, a coin, you're running an event, come on to bbipages.com. It's absolutely free. List your business, get yourself found for the services that you provide, and also do get in contact with John, who would be able to give you some fantastic advice. And, you know, again, thank you very much for coming on today. If anyone has liked this video, please leave a like, comment, please subscribe to us as well, and don't forget to click the notifications bell. Thank you once again, John, and everyone have a great day. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Bye-bye.